Okay, Bismillah, inshallah, let's begin, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil mursaleen, Sayyidina wa Habibina wa Mawlana Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa barik wa sallim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana, Allahumma 'allimna ma yanfa'una, wa zidna 'ilma ya muqallibal qulub. ثبت قلوبنا على دينك آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah. I'd like to welcome everybody to the class, Alhamdulillah. Your first day of the Quranic Arabic intensive. I pray Allah will bless your journey, inshallah. My name is Khalil Hendricks. I'm the director of Mizan Institute. And inshallah, this will be a good journey together, inshallah. Before I begin, there's a saying in Arabic, Ajar qabla dar. Anybody knows what the jar is? Not the jar, a jar. Anybody know? Okay, anybody know what a dar is? A dar is a house good. And a jar, or jiran, a jar is a neighbor. And qabla means before. So ajar qabla dar means what? When you want to buy a house, and then before you investigate the house, you first look at the neighbors, at the neighborhood. So ajar qabla dar. So inshallah, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, inshallah. Not 5 minutes, that's too long. I'm going to want you to do all this, inshallah. I want you to get a blank sheet of paper and a pen. You know the brothers bought paper and pen? You can write in the back of the work, it's okay also. And then once you have the pen and paper, I want you to spend 40 seconds meeting one person around you, and after 40 seconds another person. I want you to meet 5 people around you. You must introduce yourselves, you must look into their eyes and see their eye color. And you must write down their names also, because you're going to forget after you just turn away. So you must introduce yourselves, look at the eye color, write down their names, and tell them, share one thing about you, and they must share one thing about themselves. Anything you can choose, inshallah. 5 people, inshallah. 5 names. Okay, bismillah.
Okay.
You remember everyone?
Okay.
Okay, Bismillah inshallah. Bismillah. Okay, barakallah. Oh, maybe you found some new family. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's begin with the introduction to the course, inshallah, just to make sure you're at the right place. So I'll start off with what do we offer here and what are your expectations? So we offer, I think, three things mainly here. The one thing is, and probably the main thing that you all saw in all the posters and so on, is the idea that you can enable a student with no Arabic background, who doesn't know what the fa'il or mudafun ilayhi is or anything, with no Arabic background, to basically after a few sessions to start understanding the Quran directly in the Arabic language. So that's probably the primary objective, is that you're able to hear the Quran, or you're able to read the Quran and then understand its meanings directly from the Arabic words without a translation. That's going to be the primary objective. So alhamdulillah, we're running now for 8 years the course. This course used to be called Darul Naim Sunday Intensive. It used to be called one of the Darul Naim branches, Darul Naim Sunday Intensive, but for the last year it's been called now Mizan Institute. So alhamdulillah, it's been running for 8 years, and we've had hundreds of students like yourselves, old and young, and males and females, busy, not too busy, stressed out, all those things, who have been on the course and have undertaken the journey. The second thing is, so how do we do that? The first thing we do is we give you the core understanding of the Arabic language. We give you the core understanding of the Arabic language, the core theory basically, and that you'll do over a number of weeks. And then one of the other main things about the course is a journey to and through the Quran. A journey to and through the Quran. So from your first day, or at least not from this day, but from next week, you'll be starting Quran already. But that journey will increase and increase over time. And alhamdulillah, I think it was not last year, it was the year before, we had our first batch of graduates who came here for about 6 years, and they completed the entire Quran cover to cover. So from the first Surah Al-Fatiha until Surah Al-Nas, verse by verse, ayah by ayah, word by word, the entire Quran. So that's part of the objective, is to take a student, no matter how good your Arabic is, and take the student through the Quran. That's a very powerful journey. And through that you discuss the ayat, we do some tafsir as well. There's engagement with many teachers as well with regard to the Quranic teachings. There's lots of discussion how we can apply the teachings to our time and so on. So it's a very, let's call it a very interactive, a very relevant journey through the Quran. And the last thing, and probably the most important thing, is that there needs to be a change in ourselves. Because the student of Quran cannot be like the student who hasn't been through Quran. Because the Quran itself has some power. It has some ability to transform us. So for me, the main thing about the course is not really the Arabic or the grammar or even your technical analysis or even any of those things. The mark of whether the course is succeeding is, are people drawing closer to their Creator? Are people making sense of their lives? Are we finding purpose within our lives? That's really the mark of the course. And it's a journey of transformation. So inshallah, that's what we offer. What we don't offer recitation here. So it's not a bacha class. We don't offer tajweed also. So no one will be coming to recite in front here. You won't stand in the line of the lesson. So no recitation. We don't offer tajweed as well. We don't do fiqh as well, like salah and nikah and all those things. We basically, our main focus is to do with Quran and everything around the Quran. Obviously all the sciences are around the Quran, but we don't do the furu of the secondary sciences that you can find in other institutes, inshallah. Because many people also think we're doing, and there's no hifz as well. We don't do hifz as well. That's not the place here. So here we focused on getting you to a point where you can understand the Quran. That is the objective. And through that means trying to change ourselves for the better, inshallah. So let's say all of you are a driver of your own car, a driver of your own life. So the first thing is that there are a lot of you here, and not all of you are the same. Some of you maybe come here and you have questions, and you want answers or you want clarity. Because one thing about our time is there's not much clarity about things. So maybe you're looking for clarity or for answers. Maybe some of you are carrying the world on your shoulders. You feel burdened by life. That could be you as well. Maybe some of you are just happy. You're just happy and you're smiling and you just want to progress on your journey. Maybe some of you are like this. Apologies for the lack of hijab, but maybe some of you are like this. You're working and you're mothers and you everything else, and you just need some time. You need some time. Some of the brothers maybe, especially the young ones. If you ask the youngster, what do you want to do? I just want to chill. And some people maybe they're just okay. The point I want to make is all of you are different. All of you have a different journey. All of you have a different situation. But wherever you are, all of you are on a journey. You can't be stuck where you are. You're all on a journey. And the question is, where are you on the journey to? Because time is running out. There's not much time to undertake this journey. Time is running out. Wherever you are in your life, whether you're happy in your life, whether you're sad, whether you're burdened, whether you're multitasking, whether you're chilling, whatever you're doing, you are on a journey towards your Creator. And how much time do you have left? Time is running out. So what's the destination? What's the destination? So inshallah, one thing we're going to do is, I think it's on the logo here. Is it on the logo? Yeah. Challenging minds. One important thing for me about the Quran is that the Quran speaks and it has arguments and wants to challenge you and wants to check your worldview and check your perspective and make sure that you're on the right path with regard to the way you think. So one thing I'm going to ask you here is to be open to that journey. If you've thought something for your last 15, 20, 30 years, be open to having your thoughts challenged. Not necessarily by me or the other teachers, but by the Quran itself. And that's, I think, very empowering, is that you get to experience the Quran firsthand. You know the words, you know what's happening, you can see it firsthand what Allah is saying. So allow yourself to be challenged and allow yourself to grow intellectually. The second thing, so that's what's that? Challenging minds. Next thing is moving hearts. And our hearts are difficult to move. Hearts are difficult to move. One of the biggest difficulties with practicing our deen is that we struggle to feel. We do, but we struggle to feel moved. We're moved by other things. We have other passions. Our hearts are attached in lots of places. But when it comes to Allah and it comes to His Word, it comes to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we find it difficult to feel. And to be honest, our deen is a lot about feelings. Because if there's no feelings and there's only action, it's dry. So part of the destination and part of this journey is to find that experience where your heart is moved, where you feel something in our hearts. What's the third part? Living ihsan. And ihsan means beauty, ihsan means excellence, ihsan means many things. But once your mind is challenged and once your heart is moved, then the whole person transforms and everything around them changes. Their goals change, their relationships change, everything changes. So this is going to be the destination. Inshallah. So we must start with the niyyah. That's our niyyah, inshallah. Our niyyah is we want to start on our journey or continue on our journey, and we want to take control of our lives. I want to move on this journey powered by what? Powered by the word of Allah. That's going to guide us, that's going to push us, that's going to direct us towards on our journey. We have to start with that niyyah. This is not like university where it's academic science and you come in and you study and you do your tats and you do exams and you pass, and then what? Did you move your heart? Was your heart moved? Was your worldview challenged? No. This is personal. Studying the Quran is largely personal. Intimately, it's very personal. So if you look at those two pictures, which set of pieces is lighter? Just look carefully. Which set of pieces is lighter? If you look at them, most of you will say the top. Most of you will say the top. So look carefully. I'm not doing anything trick. No tricks. Are you looking? You're still looking. They're the same color. Both of those sets of pieces are actually the same color. Why do they look different? They're exactly the same color. They're not different. They're exactly the same color. Both sets of pieces are exactly the same color. Why do they look different? Because of everything around them. Everything around them tricks your eyes to make you think that the top one is lighter and the bottom one is darker. So sometimes the Quran is like this. You see the world in this particular way because it's colored by other things. It's colored by many things. And when you remove all the coloring and just leave the Quran, you see things clearly. I'm sure you've seen this before. The street art. You've seen this before. It looks like this girl's in front of a giant grasshopper. But what's happening in fact? The grasshopper is actually on the pavement. So when you look from this perspective, you see something. When you look from this perspective, you see something different. Again, the idea is when you change perspectives, life looks different. When you change perspectives, life looks different. Okay, so that's just a brief introduction. And I want us all to start that niyyah, inshallah. We're in a new Gregorian year, inshallah. We're going to make that niyyah to make a change, inshallah. Some logistics. Inshallah, you're doing a textbook this week, inshallah, we'll be printing the textbooks and then you'll be getting your handbooks and so on. But let me just go through your subjects so you know what you're doing, inshallah. So your first subject is going to be Nahu or Arabic grammar. You also will email you all of the slides. I don't know why you're taking notes. Yeah. Just relax, inshallah. You just relax. No, just relax. So the first subject is Nahu, which is Arabic grammar. So inshallah, I will be teaching you that first every Sunday, inshallah. And the second thing is going to be Sarf, which is morphology, which Mullah Zakaria Hanika, he will be teaching you that, inshallah. Those are the two main components of understanding Arabic. One is Nahu and the one is Sarf. And you will get introduction to that today, inshallah. Next thing, okay, that's the Arabic reader might change. Sorry, I actually must change that. But you will do some basic readers just to get familiar with the Arabic text, and you will do that in tutorial format. So we have tutors, and you get into little groups, and you read basic Arabic to get used to reading Arabic. We'll have a specific nasiha or personal development slot by myself every week, inshallah. And then also every week you'll have Quran studies. You'll get a Quran handbook, and you'll do from Surah Duha until the end of the surah, until Surah An-Nas, and as well as you do Surah Tabarak as well, Surah Mulk you'll do as well. So in your last session you'll get either Sheikh Ismail Lant or Maulana Muhammad Ka or Maulana Yazid Muhammad or whatever other guest teachers there are as well. You'll be doing Quran study every week as well. So your core thing is going to be Nahu, Arabic grammar, which I will teach you, and then Sarf, Mullah Zakaria will teach you. You'll do some basic readers just to get used to Arabic, some nasiha, and you'll do Quran studies as well to start seeing the theory in the text, inshallah. The academic approach, there's kind of different ways to approach Arabic. The one was called the immersion approach. The immersion approach is basically you get a ticket to Egypt or not Morocco, let's say Egypt or Yemen or something, because Moroccan Arabic is not really Arabic. But you book a ticket overseas, and then you just hear Arabic everywhere, you speak Arabic, you see Arabic, and you immerse in the Arabic language. The immersion method is a bit like how a child learns. And how all of you learned English. None of you learned English through understanding theory. So we do try to immerse you, but not in spoken Arabic, but at least in textual Arabic, where you're reading Arabic and trying to understand Arabic from the text. And the other approach is the theoretical approach, where we give you the mechanics of the language, and through the mechanics you understand the language. So it's a combination of immersing you in the text, as well as giving you the mechanics and putting those two together. We focus a lot on practical, essential theory. I don't know if any of you know the Pareto principle. Who knows? One of you must know it. It's called what as well? It's called what? Good, the 80-20 rule. You know the 80-20 rule? Like, for example, say you're raising funds. Then 80% of your funds will come from 20% of your donors. So you have a business. 80% of your revenue will come from 20% of your customers. So apply that to the Quranic text. 80% of Arabic words in the Quran come from 20% of the rules. Makes sense? There are certain rules that are repeated all the time. And that 20%, if you get that, you understand 80% of the text. The other 80% is more uncommon rules. But there are a few common rules, about 10 or 12 of them. If you know those 10 or 12, you understand the text. 80% of the text. So that's our approach, is that in the first year we give you that 20%. So you can see quickly results. You can see, because if you apply the 20%, it repeats itself all the time. All the time. Next thing, learning by doing. Now who must do the doing? You can sit there all day, and I can talk the whole day, not going to teach you Arabic. I can talk the whole day, not teach you Arabic. So there's not going to be a lecture, not like a khutbah class, and it's a working class. So you come here to work. You come here with your pen and your pencil, and you must wake up early and be ready to work, inshallah. So if you want to succeed, you have to put in some effort. And part of effort is what? Okay, a few things, but we'll come to it, inshallah. But it's learning by doing. Learning by doing. We have lots of student support tools. I'll go through some of the support tools, inshallah, to help you along your journey. So that's the approach. I'll speak some more about that now, inshallah. Do we have the, Nasreen, do we have the academic tablet here? Okay. In terms of your timetable, we're experimenting with a bit of a different timetable this year, but inshallah we'll start at 8:30 sharp. Today we're a bit later because we're waiting for people to come, but 8:30 sharp next week we'll start with Arabic grammar first. It will run for about an hour, and then you'll have a short tutorial which we'll do with the tutors, and then we'll have a short 15-minute personal development slot until 10:15. From 10:15 till 10:30 is break, and then from 10:35 you'll have Sarf with Mawlana Zakaria, and finally you'll end the day with Quran with either one of those three teachers, Sheikh Lan, Mawlana Muhammad Kaur, Mawlana Yazid Muhammad. So that's your timetable for the day, inshallah. Year planner, okay, some are still tentative, but this is basically a year planner, so you know which weeks you can go on holiday and which weeks you can't. Inshallah. You'll see on the 11th of March there, you'll see something called Mizan retreat. So Mizan retreat is where the brothers generally go camping. We go camping, and the women, you go somewhere else and you have your own fun. Eating and discussing and team building and so on. So inshallah we'll talk about it more later on, inshallah. But basically what I want to point out is that we do give you a few weeks off, but not a lot. So we run according to the terms, and maybe at school holidays we give you 1 week off. There's quite a few holidays here because of Ramadan and the end of term, but generally it's 1 week off, 1 to 2 weeks off per term. So that's going to be your year planner, inshallah. In terms of support tools, so I understand that you can't always come every week. Sometimes you have a nikah, or sometimes you're not feeling well, or sometimes you're out on business and so on, or sometimes you're just having sisters and coffee, and it's raining and you just can't make it. You know, it's been a long week. So I understand sometimes you can't make it to class. I don't condone it, but I understand it. The difficulty is with this class is that we move every week. The content moves every week, and the content builds on the previous week. So if you miss 1 or 2 weeks, it's very difficult to come in the third week because you won't understand what's going on. Then you'll be despondent, and then you'll drop out, and then all those things. You'll come back for your first year again, like many of you are back for your first year again. I won't ask to raise your hands, but you know who you are. Some of you're back for your first year. Alhamdulillah. But one thing is that the pace moves, so you must try to keep up with the lessons. It's not like a marriage class where you can just come and enjoy yourself, and you come back 3 weeks later and enjoy yourself again. This is a class where you're going to work. So if you don't understand like the basic principles, you miss 2 or 3 weeks, it's very difficult to keep up. So we try to give you enough support that if you miss class, you're able to keep up. So I'll take you to some of the support features. Most of them are around the Mizan website. So what we'll do is, you must make sure you're registered, because we will email you a homework summary. The homework summary will have a link to the lesson audio every period. Inshallah, this year for the first time, that's why I have the camera here. We'll send you a link to the lesson video as well. So you can listen to the audio, and you can watch the video if you want to. We'll also send you all the slides as well. We'll send you all the exercises, all the answer sheets, and we will remind you what your homework was, in case you happen to forget. So in other words, we will send you the package for the week, that if you missed it, or if you was not here, but you know, that kind of thing. So then you at least have the tools to catch up. You have the video, you have the audio, you have the lesson slides, you have the notes, you have the answer sheets, and you have the homework summary. You have actually everything to catch up. So we do that. So that will be via email. One other thing we do as well is that if you go, the main site is the Mizan website, the Mizan.co. So if you go here to Student Center, there will be a link called Student Center. You can see the first one is called Lesson Files. So if you're looking for anything, you missed a lesson or something, you can also go to the website. If your emails aren't working out for you, you go to Lesson Files, and then you will be the Quranic intensive first year, of course. So you'll be this one here, number one, mashallah. Quranic intensive first year, 2018. So this will be you. So if you click on it, and it will basically have a folder for every week. So there's our first week's folder, and you'll see that all of today's presentations are already on there already. So all the worksheets are on there, all the slides are on there already, everything's on there already. We normally put it up the night before. We can't do it the week before, we normally the night before. That's how the sunnah works here. And then, so you can get it. So what we'll do is we'll add now the audio when we're done with by tomorrow we'll add the audio, by Tuesday we'll add the audio. So you can catch up on every week. Why do I stress this? Because in my experience, if you miss 2 weeks, you'll generally be lost. Generally. If you miss 2 weeks without catching up, if you catch up, you'll be fine. But if you miss 2 weeks and you don't catch up, you're going to struggle to know what's going on. So my main thing is, if you do miss class, is try to catch up. That's the one thing. The next thing is that we're also experimenting with live stream this year. There is a webcast link, but it's not working at the moment. We're going to fix it inshallah. But for now, you can go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you will find the Mizan Institute page on YouTube, and we want to this year actually stream the class live. Okay, so it's experimental for now, but the class will be hopefully live streamed on here in case you want to study Arabic with your sisters and coffee on your couch, or if you're in Joburg, or if you want to catch up inshallah, the class will be streamed live. Are we live, Darush? What do you say? I must skip forward. Okay, so I'll put the audio off, but the class will be streamed live, and we will switch between the slides and the speaker, so you can follow the class easier because there's a switch between what the speaker is saying and what's happening on the slides. It takes a bit of data, so I don't know what the data situation is, but if you catch up, inshallah. So it will be on the Mizan YouTube's site, but eventually we'll put it under webcast when you sort out the plugins and so on. Okay. So that's with regard to lesson uploads. One of the reasons also is because we want to start presenting the course online as well. So basically preparing all the tools, but the benefit is that all the students who are registered get all access to all the online stuff as well. So eventually, actually my vision is that it's sort of blended learning, where if you can't make it here, you're online, or if you can, you know what I mean? So it's like a kind of seamless experience, inshallah. Okay, in-class questions. Normally it's difficult to ask questions in a big group, but you're welcome to raise your hand and ask a question. But if you feel shy, you must all save this number under Mizan Academic. And then what I will have here in front is I will have a tablet with this number. Then if you have a question during class, you can WhatsApp me, and then I can see your question. Whether I'm going to answer or not, I don't know, but you can just WhatsApp the question in the meantime if you want to answer questions. So take out your phones quickly and just save that, inshallah. Save that number under Mizan Academic. Don't phone that number because no one will answer. Nasrin, do you have a tablet there? Okay. Okay. Is it connected or not? To your phone? Yeah. Okay. Okay. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. We have 2 clear questions already. Okay, one says good to be here, alhamdulillah. And the second question, until what is the time of today's class? Today's class until 12 o'clock, inshallah. Every class until 12 o'clock. But don't worry, you won't feel it. Just the first day, I talk a lot, but otherwise you'll be working, inshallah. Okay. Next number you must save. You must save this number, inshallah, is the first number. is Mizan admin. Please save it right now, because if you don't save it, you won't hear from us. Okay, so just take it. First number, Mizan admin. Why must you save it? Because we communicate to you via BC list, WhatsApp BC list, broadcast list. And if you don't have the number, then it won't go through to your phone. So if you're not getting our messages, it's probably because you haven't saved the number. So please save it under Mizan admin. And if you have any administration questions, please WhatsApp that number. Sister Nasreen Ali at the back there, the sister saw when he came inside, she's in charge of all the admin, inshallah. Anything about printing or about fees or about anything, you WhatsApp admin. Questions about work, you WhatsApp academic, inshallah. Okay, someone said test. Got it. Okay. Last thing is we email you as well. I know in Google, our Google works, there's that like primary and there's forums and promotions and all that stuff. So sometimes because we use a mailing list, we will email you and it goes into one of the other tabs. One of the other tabs on top. So what you must do is you must take the email and drag it to your primary inbox. And then it will ask you, do you want to do the same for all future emails? And you must say yes. Okay, so what I'm saying is we are emailing you, but it might be in one of the other tabs. Or maybe in your spam folders, just check inshallah that you are getting our emails. No, the email address is there if you need to email something as well, questions. Okay, any questions? So far? You can ask in person, you can ask on WhatsApp, doesn't matter. Everything okay? Okay, no questions so far. Finally, your role in the journey. Your role. 3 things. Now you must take notes, not physical notes, mental notes, inshallah. 3 things. Commitment, positive attitude, and growth. I'm going to tell you what commitment looks like. Number 1 is try never to miss a class. Commitment means you had a busy week and you don't feel like, and you had a wedding last night till 11:30, and Sunday morning and you think, can't make it. Commitment is to get up and get here. It's a bit like gym almost. Like I know gym is, those of you gym. Once you're there, it's very nice. But getting there is the problem. Getting there is the problem. Once you're there, you're fine. But getting there, that's the problem. Same with class as well. Once you're in class, you will feel good. You'll be in the barakah, you'll study Quran, the angels will be with you. You'll be in a blessed place, you'll be in good company. But getting here sometimes on a Sunday is difficult. Therefore, if you look to the person on your right, and look to the person on your left quickly, look at them. Because statistically, by the end of the year, they won't be here. Unfortunately. I think 2 of the 3 of you won't be here. So out of the 3 people there looking at each other there, 2 of you won't be here. You might be back here next year first years, but you won't be here at the end of the year. Make the niyyah is not going to be you. Make the niyyah. Because I know it's difficult to come every Sunday. It's like Sunday is like your weekend. Sundays when you have family time. Sundays when you relax. Sundays when you cycle. Sundays when Sunday's a day. You just chill out. Beach day, whatever the case is. Sleep in day. But we're inviting you to Sunday here to develop and grow yourself and to learn Quran, learn Arabic, become closer to Allah. But it takes commitment, so make a strong commitment. You're not going to miss class. If you don't miss class, then you'll be fine, inshallah. If you miss class, whenever someone says, I'm struggling, I ask you, have you been missing class? I say, yes, I've been missing class. Don't miss class. If you miss class, if you break rule number 1, okay, catch up. Catch up via the website, via the tools before the lesson. Catch up before the lesson. And if you want to know whether you're catching up properly, just do the homework sheet of the class you missed. So you know you're fine, inshallah. Number 3 is do the homework. And especially brothers, homework is work you do at home. That's how homework works. Work you do at home. Because remember, understanding the concept in class is not the same as applying the concept. You understand? It's almost like you can teach someone the theory of swimming, but they must go home and jump in the pool. Like understand this breathing arm, bubble arm, and breathe and all that stuff. but you must get in the pool to swim. So you must do the homework to apply the theory. Okay, how much homework? About 2 hours a week. Okay, about 2 hours a week. Okay, 2.5 hours. Okay, if you don't do your homework, then guess what you must do? When you feel lost, what must you do? Don't miss class. Why is that? Because, and this is for the sisters now especially, you can't understand everything 100% the first time. I know sometimes, like especially some brothers, but mostly sisters, they like to be on top of the game. They like to be like, it's amazing sometimes, like I teach some of the full-time class, and the sister will come to me and say, I'm not sure you're on top of the work. And you ask, how much do you get? 98%. Like, okay. And the brother won't even write, but he'll be fine. He'll be smiling. It's a big difference sometimes. But especially for the sisters, if you don't understand something, it doesn't mean you have to drop out. If you don't understand something, it doesn't mean you have to drop out. We're teaching you an entire language in roughly 40 lessons. You're going to get some stage, you're going to be lost. But being lost is actually a very positive thing. It's a very positive thing. Okay. I always say if you're lost and confused, then you're on the right path. You're on the right path, inshallah. Because after lost and confused comes found, inshallah. So if you're struggling, if you feel like confused, lost, you can talk to us, talk to me, talk to the tutors, you can WhatsApp us, but don't drop out. The students that make it to the end of the Quran, the students will understand, Ya Allah, I can only understand so much. Because the Quran is vast, and Arabic is vast, and it's this ocean, and no matter how much you apply, you always feel like you're behind. I guarantee you, ask any Sheikh, Maulana, ask them how comfortable they feel with the Arabic. And some of them might have studied Arabic for 10 years in an Arab country, and they will tell you that Arabic is an ocean. You only take a few drops. It's this vast ocean, you only take a few drops, and you never feel on top of it. So what I want to say is that no matter how you feel, no matter how lost you feel, confused you feel, please don't miss class. Just carry on going, carry on going. Because in the end, even if you understand 40%, guess what? You're going to go through the entire Quran, word by word, ayah by ayah. And it's going to grow, inshallah. The main thing is the message must reach you. Because some things are a bit technical, so we'll see, inshallah. So whatever you do, don't miss class. What is commitment? Commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do. Long after the mood you said it in has left you. So now you feel all pumped up, I'm going to do this thing. 3 weeks time. Must I do it? No. You must do it, inshallah. That's commitment. Okay. I won't go through the whole graph. But I think the main thing is that be engaged. Don't sit here passively. When the teacher says say something, then say it. When the teacher says pair up with your partner, pair up with your partner. When the teacher says write this down, write this down. You must be engaged. You sit back and just relax and watch and okay, understand. You're not going to absorb it. So the main thing is learn by doing. And if you want to take it one step further, go home and teach someone. One step further, go home and teach someone. Second thing is attitude. Attitude. There's a saying that says, if you say you can't, or if you say you can, you are right. Whether you say you can, or whether you say you can't, you're right. If you say you can't, you're right, you can't. If you say you can, you're right, you can. It's all about attitude. If you feel that I can do this, you can do it, inshallah. So I know a lot of some baggage about educational institutes, and maybe madrasa was traumatic for you. You're still recovering after 30 years, and now you're back. And maybe school was just like the worst thing ever, and you get palpitations when you think about school. But now you're back in the class for the first time after 15, 20 years, and you feel nervous. Relax, inshallah. Have a positive attitude. Just tell yourself, I can do this. Our older student is how old now? Is 82 or 85? I can't remember. I think 85 or something. Still doing this. So inshallah have a positive attitude. Allah says, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. وَلَقَدْ, and certainly, it's an oath as well. Certainly, definitely, undoubtedly, يَسَّرْنَا. We Allah, we have made the Quran yasir, we have made the Quran easy. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. for remembrance, as a reminder. Allah says He has made the Quran easy as a reminder. فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. So is there anybody who wants to remember? So make this part of your life. Let's say together inshallah. وَلَقَدْ Bismillah. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Say one more time inshallah. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have made the Quran easy for remembrance. Is there anybody? I was asking a question. Is there anybody here who wants to remember? You can do it inshallah. And the final thing is growth inshallah. Inshallah, we hope you see the growth inshallah. We hope we all see the growth inshallah. Any questions? Ready for work now? Okay, inshallah. So some other things, one other common thing is, some of you may feel that how much Arabic, what's the prerequisite? One of the prerequisites is that you must be able to read Arabic, even if you are only able to read with difficulty. So you must look at the first word there and you must know that the first word is wa, like that level. La, qad. Like you can read that first word there. But if that first word makes no sense to you, it's going to be difficult. But if you can read that first word, then you're fine inshallah. Even if you can't make qira'ah, it's okay. Even if the tajweed isn't right, it's okay. If you can just read it. So that's like the minimum level. You must be able to read that first word. وَلَقَدْ, and the second word, يَسَّرْنَا. You must be able to read it. So that's like the minimum level. We don't teach Arabic reading here. It's a prerequisite for the course. You must be able to pay. Even if you read it with difficulty, it's fine. If you read slowly, it's fine. Doesn't matter. And with regard to writing, if you can't write, it's okay also. Just draw the letters, inshallah. But writing is not a prerequisite, but we do ask you sometimes to write, but you'll get it, inshallah. Okay, I'll leave the nasiha for the end, and now we will start with some work, inshallah. I think ready for work now. Okay, Bismillah, inshallah. Let's start with some work. Can I talk so much?